So today's video is going to start out with a little story, so I hope you don't mind the story time. My mom loves to listen to talk radio while she's driving the car, and sometimes I get stuck driving in the car with her and I have to listen to the same stuff. It's not my favorite thing to listen to, but I do remember hearing one thing that's really stuck with me since. The reason I'm not a huge fan of talk radio is because to me it just seems like a lot of complaining. One person complains about that politician, another person complains about that city act, but every once in a while there is some good information. The thing I heard that's really stuck with me since is this one talk radio host said that if you don't vote, you can't complain about what happens in government. So this really struck me as a moment of genius on the glorious talk radio. So I thought about it some more, and I extended it to something that's more universal and not just about government. And I was thinking that if you don't come up with a solution to solve a problem, then you can't complain about another solution put forth or the problem itself. I think this would apply both to solutions put forth by other people or even bad solutions put forth by yourself. You can't bring yourself down just for thinking of a stupid solution. You just need to outthink that solution. It's important not to beat yourself up over problems or get disheartened. You really can't outthink passion, and you can't out-passion thinking either. You need to think of a solution with all the brain power you have, and then put your heart and soul behind that and go forward with all the power you have. Sometimes we can feel really disheartened when we run into a problem, but this shouldn't be the case. Lots of times problems are things that we couldn't have foreseen happening before they did. It's important to just recognize the problem as something to be taken care of and not something that's your fault. Focus on what's on the other side of that problem. Once you find a solution to it, don't focus on the problem itself. Sometimes problems can be extremely overwhelming, especially if you get multiple at once or multiple that build up into one giant problem. But this doesn't need to be the case either. Sometimes problems can be so overwhelming that people succumb to them entirely. In the thick of it all, when you're facing your biggest, ugliest problems, it can be as if there's no hope, like everything is hopeless. It can actually be quite sad for the people going through it and for those witnessing it too. But this isn't the way that it needs to be. It's not as if someone stood up and shouted, "I declare sadness and frustration." People want to be happy, and people most often want other people to be happy too. It's just a matter of getting over simple problems and not letting them build up. We can't just let our problems build up and overwhelm us. We have to gather our forces and fight back. We absolutely, positively need to stay positive. It's nice even in the most hopeless situations to have a little bit of hope by your side. When we run into a lot of problems, sometimes the fix is a lot simpler than we think, and it's actually just a change of our frame of reference. Remember that more often than not, a big problem is really just an accumulation of much smaller problems. If you were really ultra positive, you might even say that each problem is just a solution waiting to happen. Just like your mom might have told you that a group of strangers, like your future classmates, is just a group of possible friends. To start solving problems, we have to get into the mindset of believing that each problem is solvable. This will inevitably help us to solve them. We need to skip thinking about the problem. Stop dwelling on it and just think about the solution. Just never forget that a solution to each problem always exists. You need to know that not only does a solution exist, but it's also possible. When I was preparing this video, I thought of the story of the little engine that could. Maybe the little engine isn't a great example of finding wondrous and complicated solutions, but he's a great problem solver nonetheless. He came up with a solution that was good enough and then focused on solving that problem instead of the problem itself, with some belief in himself and belief in his simple yet effective solution. I think that the story is just a really good one to look back on, and a really inspiring one, even if it isn't a real story. About the little engine that could, I just think about what a strong willpower he had. Even though he wasn't sure if he was up to the task, he really just pulled through and made it. And sometimes we need more thinking than that and more of a solution, but a lot of times you just need to get down to business and do it. And that's something that I'm working on myself. Remember that just like the little engine in the story, we can do it. I know that you can do it. Remember to take the time to break the problem down. This will really help you in figuring out the solution that you're going to use to solve these problems. Like you can't go any longer, just try to go for just a bit longer. Just hang in there. And when you see a problem, just deal with it. You can survive. I know you can. You can do it. Just a little bit longer, and you're that much closer to your success. If you do these things, you recognize the problem, you find a solution, you think about the solution more than the problem, you stick it through, you push hard, and you deal with the problem in front of you, you will win. So here you go, put on your glasses. And do a little practice spotting the solution instead of the problem. Solutions are the key to our success, so keep that in mind. Hi, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see some more, go ahead and check out my channel, Better Positive You, or hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.